Kirk Bohls, the Texas Longhorns, found out before the kickoff that all they needed to do was beat the Baylor Bears and win a Big 12 title. Final score 30-10. Texas did not get it done. Why didn't it happen today for the Longhorns?
I think a lot of the blame, if not the majority of the blame, Cedric's going to fall on Case McCoy, who really played the worst game of his career.
Yes,
Unfortunately for him, it was terrible timing. I mean, you look at the stats, 54 yards passing, 12 of 34 with 2 interceptions. It was 1.6 yards an attempt and 4.5 per completion. He never got in any rhythm. He couldn't sustain any drives. They had bad field position. Pure and simple, it was Bryce Petty looking like a great, if not all Big 12 quarterback, and Case McCoy looking like the bad Case McCoy we've seen too many times.
And if you look at the teams that are ranked atop the standings,
right,
atop the BCS standings, they all have one thing in common: consistent play at quarterback. Texas has been too up and down with Case McCoy this year. You ride or die with him because he's the only option with David Ash hurt. So this was one of those die moments. So we asked Mack Brown about his future afterwards, and he was pretty mum on the subject. What does a 20-point loss in the regular season finale do to his future here as a Texas coach?
Well, as you said, he was very vague, very ambiguous about his future. When he was asked repeatedly about it, he said, "I'm not talking about that tonight." But earlier, before he was asked about that, he talked about, we got to get past this, we got a bowl game to win, we're going to go out recruiting tomorrow, spring practice is going to start before you know it. He talked like a guy that, his heart is still in this job. Whether it is and whether they want him to stay is still, anybody's guess a little bit. But I think it's that chapter is not closed yet, so it's going to be really interesting to pay attention to that the next several days.
I just really got the feeling that in the last few weeks that Mack Brown is still wanting to coach this team, and he still thinks he can figure it out and get this team back to national prominence. But I saw a look in his eyes after the game. I think it was one of not one of resignation, but one of reflection, and where he may have to take a long, hard look on if he himself wants to come back and climb that mountain again.
Well, after his press conference, he was walking back in the locker room, and I asked him, "Mac, do you want to stay here?" And he just kind of slapped me on the shoulder and kept walking. And it's very easy to say yes, I want to coach here, but so still a lot of questions persist as far as the bowl game. Alamo Bowl may be a possibility now if Oklahoma gets a BCS at-large bid. If not, if OU doesn't get a BCS bid, probably more likely the Buffalo Wild Wings December 28th. So Baylor 30-10, Baylor Bears, your Big 12 champions.